I think it's a waste of life myself. We can take drugs to get inner peace, but we've got to keep taking them. If you really want inner peace, you've got to accept life as it is.
Have you ever tried transcendental meditation?
Yes. Before I became a Rajneesh sannyasin, I was a premi, transcendental meditator with Maharishi. And I got given a secret mantra. It was shrim. And I wasn't allowed to tell anyone that. And I had to sit there and for 20 minutes go shrim, 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 shrim. I think it's a waste of life myself.
What do you find lacking in techniques that promise inner peace without undoing belief systems?
Well, we can take drugs to get inner peace, but we've got to keep taking them, you know? If you really want inner peace, you've got to accept life as it is, rather than resist life as it is. Anyone who's in acceptance of life as it is in peace. It's simple. As far as techniques are concerned, acceptance is the only one that works.
So do you think that practices like transcendental meditation can distract seekers from the deeper work or awakening?
Depends what your goal is. I think with transcendental meditation, if you do it for long enough, it will quieten the mind down. And if that's what your goal is, well, great. But my goal for people is freedom. And freedom involves undoing the mind, and so it's not a distraction. Removing the obstacles that are in the way of love and that are in the way of enlightenment. And transcendental meditation doesn't address that. And so you're just left with shrim, shrim, shrim.
Can meditation techniques become a way of avoiding pain?
Definitely. The only thing that I know that can't be used by the ego to avoid the dark night of the soul or stuff coming up or whatever you want to call it is openness. It's the only methodology, spiritual methodology that works. Openness. And openness allows us to perceive love. And so if a teacher isn't teaching openness, they're not teaching the way of the heart, they're not teaching anything that's worthwhile as far as I'm concerned. Because the only thing that's valuable on this plane is love.
What helped you go beyond all technique into your true nature?
I don't know, I still ask myself that question. I just found myself as beingness one day and it never went away. I was using technique up until that point, mostly self-inquiry, but I'd done years of undoing the mind before that, and we're talking about 30 years. And so it's not like I didn't do the work on preparing the mind so it could handle enlightenment. I did. And then when the accident of enlightenment occurred, well, it was lovely. But there wasn't a sense of somebody to enjoy it anymore. The I had disappeared.
So this is a quote from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. The purpose of life is the expansion of happiness. How does this statement resonate with your own experience of awakening?
First of all, I don't think there's any purpose in life. We just are here like every other animal on the planet. We get born, we live a while, and then we die. This idea of purpose is egotistical. It's the ego thinking it's important. I don't see purpose. I don't see meaning. I see an opportunity for freedom through enlightenment, but that's about it. I also see a way of living this life that is quite beautiful, and that's the way of the heart. And you do that through the practice of openness, not through any other practice.